Welcome to Wilderness Worthy. I'm Clark.
And I'm Mac.
And today we're going to show you this canvas tent.
And this canvas tent.
We're going to show you all the pros and cons, the ins and outs, and everything about them.
Cool perks and whatever you want to know about canvas tents.
Alrighty, so just first off, we just want to say really quick that we are super sorry for all the static sound in the background, but we are literally right next to a river, and so you're probably going to be hearing that throughout the video. And alrighty, so I'm going to show you the parts of this tent that has a frame. So there are 14 different poles that go into this. There's 4 corner poles, these straight extension poles, these curved extension poles, and then these are the side poles that hold the whole frame up. There's 4 of them. These 2 have side poles like this, and I'll explain later what those ones do. And then this is the main tent. This is it all rolled up. It's pretty big and it's pretty hefty. So you're not actually ever gonna go backpacking with this kind of tent because of how heavy it is. I'd say it's at least 20 to 30 pounds of canvas. So, and I've got this little, I got some paracord that I've used to tie it up. And all you gotta do is pull those loops to get it off. And then, so I'll roll it out here for you. I rolled the stakes up with it just to make sure that I could keep track of them and so that I didn't have to create a new carrying bag to hold them separately. So now I just always know that I have the stakes with it. Set those aside, and then you can see that we folded it into quarters and then in half again, just to make it shorter so it wasn't quite as long. So I'm not worried about walking on it because it's heavy duty canvas. Other tents I wouldn't walk on top of because I'd be scared that I'd tear a hole or wear it out. So that's how it is, all laid out.
Okay, so I have a different tent than the one that has a frame. Mine only has 2 poles that will hold it up and then string that will hold it out. This is the type of tent that you'll see at like a scout camp, if you've ever been to a scout camp. So I made these poles myself, pretty much $4 at Home Depot, this little, the pole, and 49 cents. This is actually a funny pipe connector, but it works right at the top here. I just stuck that in and that will hook into the loops that will hold the tent up, and you'll see that later. This is the actual tent. I rolled the tent and the tarp together. I'll unroll that in just a second. And then I have my bag that stores all the small stuff. So I've got my string that holds the poles up, more string that will hold the tent out so that you have a wide space inside, and then I have my stakes to hold the string down. I did try these stakes once. It's like $6 at Home Depot, but they broke the first night, so I would definitely not use them babies. So, alright, I'll unroll the tent real quick for you guys so you guys can see the size of it. So mine isn't as big as the frame tent, and it's set up differently, but the nice thing about my tent is it's really fast to set up, and it's pretty easy to set up on your own. The tent and the tarp actually don't come together, and so you have to lay the tarp down first, of course, and then the tent. And I did the same type of folds as the last one, the tri-fold or the quarter fold, so it'd be small. So as you can see, this is the tarp. The outside is the tarp that I had, and then the inside, this is the tarp, the tent, sorry. The tent, and this will unfold on top of the tarp. Once again, don't have to worry about avoiding to step on top of it. Canvas is super durable. That's the nice thing about canvas. And that's my tent, kind of rolled, unfolded.
Alrighty, so you can see my tent is pretty big. The biggest downside that I can see initially with this tent is that there's literally no door. It just is open. There's got some, I mean, it's got these little stiff pieces. I don't know if this is like a magnet strip or what for like a magnetized door, the little bungee hooks up here. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to ask my dad what happened to the door or if it even ever had a door, but I'm gonna have to come up with something for a door before I actually go camping with it. And we'll make another video on what I end up doing to make a door so you guys can know. But it's very spacious in here. You can see it's super, I mean, I stand with my arms up and I'm 5'9", I'm not that tall. So the very middle of it, it said was 7 feet 9 inches, was the very peak of the middle, I think. And then the outsides, I think it says it gets to like 7 foot 3 inches or something like that. It's about 6 inches shorter on the ends. But it's super spacious. It has 3 really big windows, as you can see, and they're covered with a net or a mesh over it, so you know you're not letting flies and mosquitoes in while you're camping. They roll up real neatly, and if you want to, it's very easily closed, just with some regular zippers, just like any other spring bar tent or any other tent its windows has. So you can close these up to keep it warmer, and I don't know if you're noticing that, but it's getting noticeably quieter in here. I can barely hear the river out there, and it's really nice and spacious. I mean, I don't know how big the floor layout is, but it's definitely clearly long enough that you could have somebody laying down and still have 3 feet for their packs and stuff like that. So I'll show you. I'll lay down with my head up here. There's a ton of space left down here for your pack or anything else that you want to store down here. You could even put like a card table in here. You could fit a queen size bed in here and still have plenty of space. There are 4 main poles. They are not on the corners of the tent. They are right in the middle of each side. And the nice thing about these poles, when you're setting it up, there isn't a set length. So if you're up on a hill or you're on a slant, you can change it however you want. You come down here, I don't know if you can see, but there's 2 separate. You twist to release it, and it can slide up and down. So you can adjust how tight or how tall you want your tent. And then when you get to where you want, you just twist it back up and it tightens it in place. It's really nice. So when I was first setting this up, I found that it doesn't stay up just with the poles. I had to get some string. I got some more paracord here. I tied it up here. As you can see, I just did a simple slip knot up here, going down to each corner where I staked it in, and that just helps keep it from twisting and collapsing on itself. I'll explain what those funny little segments on those other 2 poles that I had. Right here, you can see they're used to hold this corner out. It just goes straight up into this corner pocket, and you go and you can loosen it right here with this wing nut, and you push it up however high you want it to tighten the tent up, and then it just makes it so that if it rains or anything, the rain just falls straight off of it and it's not gonna get into your tent. All right, so we're gonna take a look up on top of the tent just so you can see what it looks like with the frame and everything on it. I honestly don't know if that's a good view right now, but if it is, you can see that it's just a cross right in the middle where the poles go into some sleeves that help hold it up. It's super heavy duty fabric, canvas, so I'm not gonna be worried about that canvas tearing at all. So you can see right here, there's 2 more rings on either side of the door to help, so you can go like this and you can pull it really tight, so you have a really tight entranceway right here. So you don't have to worry about tripping over it. You can pull it tight and flush to the ground, and it would really help keep it safe. Okay, so this tent is a Sears tent. I didn't know Sears made tents like this, but it says it's Ted Williams quality. I have no idea who Ted Williams is, but I hope his quality is good. It says it's approved by Sir Edmund Hillary, members of Sears Sports Advisory Staff. I'm gonna have to do some research, see who Sir Edmund Hillary is. Seems pretty legit. It says it's trademark Ted Williams merchandise, sold only by Sears, Roebuck and Company, Chicago, Illinois. Made in the USA. It doesn't get any better than that.
So mine is not a frame tent like the other one. It's all held up by strings, and you'll see that as we go. We'll start with the post. So I have 2 posts, and these 2 posts fit into these rings up here. The funny pipe piece comes up through this ring, and then I have 2 paracord pieces that are tied to the post that go down to its own stake, and that's what holds the post up, and that's on both posts. And then on all 4 corners, I have a piece of string tied to one of the loops on the outside that goes to its own stake. If you're on a budget, you're very welcome to actually just do it to this, to the stake that you did for the pole. I did it this way because it'll be more durable during wind and whatever. But I understand the budget system. So, and then we have doors that I just folded over so you could see through the tent. And they fold over and then they tie together the strings here. So, and now we'll go inside the tent real quick. Let's get some light in. So, as I said before, the tarp comes separately. So you just lay the tent out on a tarp. But it's not as tall as the other one is. I'm 5'11", so, but I can stand up straight in the center. And once you get to the sides, I mean, who needs sides anyways, right? But then you can lie straight this way, and you can fit yourself and 6 other people if you wanted, or 3 people and all your gear. And so it's a nice tent. It's big. Like I said, this is not as big, but it's faster to set up, especially on your own, and it's more flexible. What's really cool about this tent, I'll show you. If you rather create a longer tent, you can always undo these, the paracord here that attaches to the corner, and you can do it into this corner, which then pulls it out. That's more of a summer thing because it lets the door open up more, but then you have a more spacious part. And if you really want it, you could even hook it up this far, and then you have the whole entire space. Obviously this is summer, like I said before, but then you have a huge space. You could put a bed in here if you wanted, and so that's really nice. Mine's more flexible because it doesn't have a frame. So this tent is a Boy Scouts of America tent. As you can see here, it's got the logo, which means that most Boy Scout stuff is military grade. So this is the type of canvas and durability that you would find in the military, which is awesome.